Alright, so, other than the stuff involving Dracula himself, the only thing that I really actually liked about this movie was the accents. Yes, the accents, the way people talked in this film, because I thought it was pretty cool. And the reactions to people when they saw not Dracula, but Dracula's coffin, quote unquote. The way people reacted when they saw the crate being loaded onto the ship with the sign, and they would go, "No, I'm sorry, Captain. We can't join you on this voyage. That crest is a crest of evil, and if we step onto that ship, we will never see the light of day again. I can't go on that journey with you. Whatever is in that crate is so evil that I don't even want to take my men on the ship with you. Good luck to you." I really enjoy people's reactions to that, but other than that, this movie ain't really have much to offer. So without further ado, this is the last voyage, hopefully forever, of the Demeter. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and this is my review for the last voyage of the Demeter, starring Corey Hawkins, Liam Cunningham, David Dastmalchian, and was directed by Andre Ovredal. He has an O and a literal like a slash going through it. I guess he's that cool of a guy to have one of those letters in his name. But look, our story basically follows the voyage of this ship called the Demeter on its journey from I think it's going from Russia to England. I don't know where it's going, but it ends up in England. So they're basically taking this ship called the Demeter. They're voyaging to England, and on this ship they unknowingly have, or they don't possess, because nobody can possess Dracula, but they are unknowingly having one of the most evil creatures on board with them. It's Dracula. This is the very beginning stages of Dracula before he becomes the very full, powerful vampire that we all know to this date. He is in his early stages, and he's on the ship, and basically they have to survive being on a ship with Dracula. That's the best way I can put it, because honestly, by the title, you can know that nobody is going to survive this thing, because who's going to survive with Dracula on a boat? But without further ado, let's get into what I liked and what I didn't like about the movie. Alright, so as far as what I liked about the movie, look, Dracula and anything having to do with Dracula, that is the basis of everything that I really liked about this movie. Corey Hawkins did a good job as well, and there are cool effects throughout the film, but really that has to do with most of Dracula's stuff. And honestly, that's really all this movie has to offer you. I mean, when the Dracula stuff is going on, it's actually pretty cool. I'm not even going to lie to you. I didn't even know this was supposed to be a horror movie. I know Dracula's in it, but it's like, when I seen the creature in the trailer, and honestly, I'm just like, who's really... I mean, yes, if this was a real-life scenario, yes, you would obviously be afraid of Dracula being on a boat, being stuck on a ship with Dracula, but like, this movie truly did not give me horror vibes, really just kind of a thriller, or honestly probably just like a historic tale of how Dracula came to be and how he got to England and his reign of terror just spread all over the country. But I mean, honestly guys, it's really just this movie is just a big mess, if I'm being completely honest. It's juggling so many different concepts at you at once that it's like they almost didn't necessarily know which one to use, so they used them all. They just combined all of the concepts that they had into this one film, and it really feels like, honestly, a lot of different stuff is going on. But I mean, as far as what I liked about the film, I'll stay there for a second. So Dracula's amazing. Who played Dracula, by the way? Javier Botet. He did a really good job. I thought the creature was terrifying. Like I said, I really wasn't expecting it to be a horror movie, or honestly, it's really only a horror movie based off of, well, it's described as that in the genre, but you can tell what kind of movie you're in for by the trailers that play before it. All horror movie trailers are playing before this thing, and I was like, this is a horror movie? Okay, it's not really scary. It's not scary at all, but I mean, it's a horror movie, sure, whatever. But look, Dracula's cool. They are very cool effects, and honestly, the stuff that happens to Dracula's victims is pretty cool. The way they, you know the side effects between vampires, how you burn into the sunlight, how you get bit if you don't hide, and you're exposed to sunlight, you're gonna burn up. We already know the vampire rules here, so you already know how all that stuff works. So anything involving Dracula and his victims, all that stuff was really cool. I actually really enjoyed that. I actually thought this film had pretty bold choices in how they had the crew die. I really enjoyed one of the cast members' deaths quite a bit, because it was actually a pretty bold choice, in my opinion, to kill him off that early and to honestly kill him in that way. But I'm not gonna spoil that stuff for you. But of course, like I said, really, you're only going to catch me here talking about how cool Dracula was. Like I said, Corey Hawkins did a good job in this movie. I will not the writing for his character is atrocious, and it's all over the place because they want him to be so many different things. They want him to be Dr. Quinn Medicine Man, and I know she's a woman, but he's a guy, so he's Dr. Quinn Medicine Man. And at the same time, it's just like, as smart as they're portraying this guy to be, he really picks and chooses when he wants to use his knowledge, because nobody on this boat is tracking when this creature pops out. Nobody is like keeping up with when we're seeing this. It's like during the day, they all just know the creature's gone. It disappeared. It only pops out at night. And it's like nobody on the ship is smart enough to realize, oh, does anybody think it could be hiding on the ship, you know, during the day and then just pop out at night? Does anybody think that's a possibility, you know? Or, and look, this is it. Like, everybody already knows how vampire rules work, and clearly this movie just establishes the fact that nobody knew how those rules worked when this first came out. So, or when Dracula was first introduced to these people, clearly nobody knew how vampires' rules work, so they didn't really want to follow that. But I can't lie to you, like, for Corey Hawkins' character to be portrayed as this very smart doctor-esque character, and at the end of the movie they turn him into a goddamn Abraham Lincoln vampire hunter variant. Like, he's turning into all, they want him to be all these things at once, but nobody has the logic to actually track the vampire's movements on the damn boat itself. It just really doesn't make any sense to me. But as far as you guys know, look, I'm probably already into what I didn't like about this film. Truly, it's really just the writing. It's all over the place. This movie is boring as hell at times. Like I said, the Dracula stuff is the Dracula stuff is cool, but during the day, when they're gathering their thoughts, trying to figure out what the hell is going on, that's a snooze fest. It's completely boring as fuck. The movie's at least 20 minutes too long, and I mean, it drags. The ending of this movie drags out way too long, or not even the ending. It's truly maybe like the last like 40 minutes are just being dragged out. We really just could have gotten to the point. And what even makes me more frustrated is the concept that they introduced at the end of this film truly could have been the basis of the entire movie. We really could have just spent like 40 minutes on the Demeter and the rest of the hour and however much time we had left in this film and spent it on land doing what they wanted to do at the end of this film. But like I said, they just juggled a bunch of concepts, put them all together into one, and said, here you go, here's your August movie. And it just really wasn't what I expected it to be. Liam Cunningham did his best Sir Davos impression. I truly only see him as Sir Davos, so basically Sir Davos is just on a boat now. David Dastmalchian, I am so glad to see him getting leading roles. I'm so glad to seeing his acting. What is it? It's not really acting premise, but I'm just glad to see his role starting to expand into leading guys now, and I truly hope he just gets better and bigger roles than this one, because this really ain't going to help his resume, but it damn sure ain't going to hurt it either, because he did a pretty good job. Honestly, and like I said, one thing I will address that I liked about the movie, the accents, the way people talked in this movie. I really appreciate the extraness in people's exaggerations over how scared they were of Dracula. There's this guy on the boat, man. He's this really religious character, and he's just all over the place. I can't even recall like what mainly he did, because I saw the movie like 5 days ago now. It took me a little while to get to recording this thing, but look, the side characters, I appreciate their extraness to try to bring some sort of entertainment value to this film, but truly you're only here for Dracula. That's the only thing that's going to keep you entertained throughout the entire thing. Other than that, this is pretty much a snooze fest. It shouldn't even be deemed a horror movie. I would just call it a historic thriller and move on with our day. But for all those reasons and so many more, guys, I'm going to give The Last Voyage on the Demeter a 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, so The Last Voyage on the Demeter. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Look, guys, be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that stuff and so much more. I really do appreciate you guys for watching. This is your guy in the chair. I already did my thing, but more content coming to you soon.